Yes and no. Mm, we have had very important enologists in at the beginning of the century. Then we had after phylloxera in the 30s, we had a certain decline in a certain sense because we had to invest a lot in rebuilding the vineyards, and we had not enough money in Tuscany to afford the expense of of a new generation of enologists. We had excellent schools in Tuscany, founded centuries ago to teach to the young enologists, but there was no work for them. And so the quality of enology in Tuscany decreased dramatically, also after the war. Then, in the 70s, after the scandal of methanol, in Italy we have always scandals, it's
Always,
normal.
always. We
Always,
won't talk
always.
about any other ones. So that's
Yeah, yeah,
methanol and stop.
yes, yeah. And methanol was a border. Before the methanol, the wine was mainly an industrial product. Uh,
When was the methanol scandal?
in the at the beginning of the 80s, 81, 81. And before, there were just a few fattorie like us, uh, just a few, and then there were the industrials.
There's still today, there are a lot of people who have a hectare, a
Yes,
half
yes,
hectare.
yes,
They sell to co-ops or negociants or,
exactly,
so it's
exactly.
always been a very big and important part of
Yes,
the industry.
absolutely. There were many, many, many grapes producers, but just a very few wine producers, and even less bottlers. And so there were a lot of big sellers, industrial sellers, and cooperatives too, and they purchased the grapes from the tens of thousands of producers, grape producers, and then a few of old fattorie like us. After the 80s, the situation changed. The scandal of methanol was made by the industrials. And so the consumers became to ask for direct producers. And so many small producers became to sell the wines by themselves. And they found markets. And so there was a revolution, a total revolution. These people wanted to create new sellers and obviously using modern technology. And even the fattorie like our became to use again technology because there was a market which paid for better wines. And so there was a revolution.